I ordered a f***ing chair today
Oh yeah,
from OPC.
OPC.
OP seat.
Oh yeah. I've seen who else? Somebody else just got an OPC.
N64 Josh promotes them a lot,
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, I did see.
and that's
I
what
see that.
Fluxy has one too.
Oh, I don't think I knew that. I definitely
Yeah.
saw N64 Josh just push
Yeah.
that out. That's sweet.
Yeah. So
God, my hands are so dry from just like I'm just always washing them because I'm always changing. I'm always like dealing with shit and stuff. I'm just always washing. Dude, it's like oh, and then I got that whole thing going on.
you're just nasty, bro.
I am a mess, dude. I am a mess.
Nasty. So nasty.
Have you played Smack? Well, we'll get into it and we can save it for the podcast.
Yeah, we'll get into it.
Okay, we'll just
What
yeah.
will be 1:30?
If we ran Nintendo.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 130 of If We Ran Nintendo. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, joined by the greatest co-host in all the land. Let that sink in, Joseph Moran. All the land. Mr. Sean Capri. What's up, Sean Capri?
I really appreciate the extra effort that you're going through to make sure that I am declared the greatest co-host in all the land. That's very nice for my ego, but I warn you I played this game with Joseph Brand before, and you're playing right into it. You're playing right into his hands. You're giving him what he wants. So
Give him attention.
maybe this should just be the last time.
That'll be the last time, because I think he understands now that he is not up to snuff. He's got a ways to go to get there.
Yeah.
Kyle's a good chap.
Yep, he's a very good co-host, but not the greatest co-host.
No,
in
he's
all
not
the
the greatest. Not the greatest.
No.
Not the greatest. And,
No.
and anybody that says otherwise is just absolutely dreaming.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, it ain't happened. So yesterday we did
Yeah.
a thing.
Yeah, it
right?
happened.
We did this Game Awards thing. Just for those that don't know, we record on Friday evenings, and yesterday was the Game Awards, and Sean and I both streamed it for 4 hours and 20 minutes.
Oh my god.
I don't know what the hell we were thinking.
I was wondering why I was getting so crabby. And I'm like, it's because I'm sitting here for a Godfather movie.
Worse than
Lord
a
of the
Godfather
Rings.
movie.
Lord of the
At
Rings
least the
extended
Godfather
edition.
movie. At least the Godfather movie. Maybe Godfather 3.
Yeah,
But
Godfather
Godfather
3 's
1
no
and
good.
2, like, they're really good in the middle. Like, they don't start
Good
to
point.
peter out.
Yeah.
And
You know what though,
and this
man?
one kinda-
We're on the outs on this. I was starting to listen to Speaking Joseph Moran in the Trophy Room. I was listening to their show, and like a lot of people are hyped about the video game awards. And I'm kind of like, I woke up this morning feeling like I got off on the wrong foot. I want to clear something up a little bit.
Well,
Should we talk? Well, we have a lot to talk about. This is
have a
gonna be
lot
a
to
video
talk about,
game.
yeah,
This is
yeah.
a Game Awards
It's just
themed
gonna be a
if we're at
fun
Nintendo.
episode.
It's gonna be
It'll
good.
a fun episode.
I
We will have a topic,
decided.
Todd. So calm down, Todd. We'll have a topic.
I don't think we
Get
will,
there eventually.
Todd. I don't think it's gonna
Probably
happen.
not.
Yeah, it's
Probably
not. We
not.
definitely don't have it
Tell
right
him
now.
that, so just let it go. Let him.
Well,
let him think.
he's already downloaded it. It's fine. We got the number.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. You're right.
Can I tell you something, Bobby? I had a revelation because every time that I realize I'm getting kind of like sucked down into this negativity black hole, like when I was really upset about like all the contradictions and hypocrisy around what exclusives are allowed, what exclusives are not allowed. Ultimate Alliance
here we
looking
go.
like a mobile game
Here
on
we
Switch,
go.
and I was all pissy about it.
It did not look like a mobile game on Switch. Stop it.
I want
Because before,
just-
before you realized it was a mobile game, you were in love.
Just back
Go
off
back
the
and
mic
watch
a little
the
bit. You're
video.
hurting my ears a little bit. Just back off the mic when you yell. You project enough. That's fine.
All right, my bad.
That's
My
fine.
bad.
That's fine.
I'm
Just
sorry.
when you yell and you do the double. You
I
yell
know,
and
yell
you
and I
get
move
and
into
you
the mic.
yeah. You're like guess what? Grabs a megaphone and blows that into the
yeah.
microphone.
South
I want
doing right.
Rybo. Somebody maybe I can back off your mic a little bit here too. Okay, maybe Rybo or somebody can go back to the recording and clip out. There's a moment where just before I realize that it's Ultimate Alliance, I'm going like, oh. And then I realize Ultimate Alliance, I'm like, I don't care how it looks. Ultimate Alliance is badass. It's a great game. I was like, I thought it was a mobile game. I'm pretty sure I said the word mobile. I want to check back. This is where somewhere.
I'll go back and find it.
And
Don't
clip
worry
it
about
in
I
here.
have
And
the
clip it
footage.
in. Seriously, like.
I have the footage.
And be honest, because I am certain that like there was a moment in there where I was like, ugh. Anyway, beside the point. I woke up this morning, okay, and I realized, I was talking to David Ray about this a little bit. I realized that there are too many different opinions on the same subject for me to go, like I often take one stance against another stance when it comes to any particular topic. And it's impossible to do because I take a stance against like the internet or gamers, and it's impossible to do that because that audience has like infinite number of opinions and technicalities of what makes some things okay and what some things not okay. So as I started talking to people about this, they're like, well, I'm okay with exclusives because X, Y, and Z, and like I'm okay with any exclusives, no matter if the previous games were on all platforms and this one isn't. And I'm like, I woke up this morning realizing like it's a no-win situation getting upset about this stuff. So like the positive spin, I tweeted out the Sally Sunshine part is now the choice has been taken away from us. So at least we all just play on the same platform. And we don't have to worry about like, oh, I got it on Xbox, or oh, I got it. Like that's kind of the benefit of it. That's why I always think it's so good. My last point on this, I'll let you kind of jump in. It's the same thing with Mario Kart and Splatoon or anything else. That's why you're able to have such great community nights because like everybody's coming to the same place. It's not like Call of Duty or any of these other things, maybe Titanfall or these other shooters or whatever. Everybody's everywhere. So
we've had them problems in the past.
Yeah.
Are you on Xbox? Are you on PlayStation? You know, and then it's like, well, I'm over here. Well, I'm over here, and I'm like, oh god. Yeah. I mean, like if Toby would have waited a year, he could have been playing PUBG on PlayStation. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those things, you know.
PUBG. But and in a world where I'm also realizing at the same time, like it's worth mentioning that I don't anticipate like full crossplay happening really anytime soon. Like it's nice that.
Well, the thing is the game's only coming to Switch.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like my conceit is that at least it's only on this thing, and then the logical response to that is, well, what about crossplay? Like that should be allowing us to take care of that. But with that not happening really across the board, really anytime soon, if this is the best,
I don't think it's happening at all. So Jared said today that this was being published by Nintendo. That Nintendo's funding this.
I just mean crossplay and multiplayer games across, like with like it's happening with like Fortnite and Rocket League. No, I just mean I hope that all makes sense.
No, I got you now. So that's the thing. Like for me, you know, I watched the Game Awards. I liked the Game Awards. I personally think that Jeff Keighley, me personally, I've given him some crap in the past that he's overly like a butt kisser in terms of like, you know, like he has his best friend Kojima and all that stuff, and he like plays that up so much. But last night I realized something. The moment when he brought Reggie, Phil, and Sean out on the stage, I was just like, this guy is exactly like us. Mm-hmm. Like, he's putting the moments together that we all dream of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he sees something, he goes, dude, it would be so cool if this was to happen. I got this opportunity. I'm going to try to make it happen. Mm-hmm. And then it comes together, and it's like, he's so giddy about it. And, like, I love him for that. Mm-hmm. He's so, like, everything with this show is a celebration. It's not, like, you know, nonsensical stuff. Like, it's really from the heart. Mm-hmm. And I don't feel like going into this Game Awards, I was like, oh, you guys screwed Nintendo. You know, you snuffed them out of stuff. And I was like, then midway through and after watching, I was just like, no, they didn't.
I don't think
like,
so.
This is a fair thing. They did a good job. They're phenomenal with the whole broadcast. Like, dude, he's putting on a show that's better, in my opinion, than any award show ever.
Yeah.
Like, he just knocks it out the park. Now, the only critique I would have is two things. One, maybe it's just a little too long. Mm-hmm. But maybe it's not, and I don't know. But with that said, there's a little lull in the middle, and I don't know whether you change up the formula, like maybe move the awards around a little bit.
Yeah.
So this way you don't hit that lull. It just always seems like there's a part where there's a music part that always is hit or miss for me.
Yeah.
And then like it hits a couple of awards that I really don't care about.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just like, oh, come on, please stop with this. You know, but I understand people deserve their time to speak, but it's just like, I don't know.
You know, my thing, and my part of it, I think, is that it's this weird crossover and blend and hybrid of award and recognition celebration of video games, but also like promoting. So like for me, I like what what the show does in terms of promoting video games, and the ads that are purchased are, and like commercials, the thing that basically funds the whole thing, is for the audience. Like I don't think that there's a better award show that kind of serves a set of commercials or marketing to its audience than this. Like when you watch the Oscars, God knows what's going to happen there. These are games for gamers. It's perfect.
Yeah. And I mean, when the trailers hit, I feel like they're really well done.
So cool. Like it's so incredible that the other award shows that they have figured this out that Jeff Keighley figured it out for the Game Awards, and that no other it's not, you don't go to the Grammys for news or for like any releases or sneak peeks or anything like that. So that's really cool. That's why I wish my one point is not even on Jeff, it's for the people receiving the awards. I feel like there's a couple people over the last couple of years who have done an incredible job at exemplifying what thank you speeches should be like, and what thank you, and now we've seen, in my opinion, what thank you speeches should not be like. And Xbox was a big they did this. They were like, Aaron Greenberg couldn't turn his marketing mind off. He's accepting the award for Forza, and he's talking about like the next big thing. It's like, this should be, the best speeches were from the people who were shaken to be there. Yeah. And they were from the bottom of their heart grateful for the recognition. Yeah. And they just want to make games, and I feel like that's a corner that the game industry overall has yet to turn. Like the entire, like all of us, and even fans and pundits or whatever, podcasters, content creators, we all have to kind of just mature a little bit on a lot of levels, and I think that's probably one of them.
Yeah, I agree. I was, as crazy as it's going to sound, I felt like, and I predicted this well before, because when Alan Pax and I did our show,
episode 11 of season 2. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
full on episode. Yeah.
Toby got so upset. I know. Got so upset. But the thing is, when we did that episode, I said God of War. Like, I felt like God of War should win. I even said it beforehand when you and I did the pre-show. I was like, "This is the way I break it down. God of War deserves it, in my opinion." And I was so happy to see them get it. I'll be honest with you, I got nervous in the middle there. Yeah, because it looked like Red Dead was going to run away with the whole night. Mm-hmm. Like anything Red Dead went up against was just losing, and I was like, "This isn't good. This is scary." In terms of like, are we just going to sit here the whole night and watch Red Dead just accept one after the other? Mm-hmm. So glad that didn't happen. So glad that the fans kind of woke up a little bit. Yep. And started voting for their favorites, and instead of like, I don't know what the hell happened there for a while there, mm-hmm. But anyway, so Smash that came out today.
Oh, you want to move on? The only other thing I would just say, I want to see more gameplay. I want to see more game especially for the games that the show, the Game Awards show is great for spotlighting the games you might not even know about. And I feel like it's just a giant missed opportunity for like, show us a little bit of that game, or send us a link or somewhere to like go find out more about this game, or have the store. Like there was a Game Awards sale on all the shops. Yes. But I think that like, I don't know. I always think this, especially, it always came from the indie montages that we would always get at like E3 and stuff. I would love it if at the end of it, there was like a portion of the eShop or whatever store it is, Steam or whoever. And it's like, here are all the games that were in that montage. And you can see like a full release trailer or something like that. Like I would just wish that there was something afterwards. You can say like, if you want to learn more about this game, you can go here. I think that would just be like that extra little push that the game would need. So that's where I'm at. Otherwise, it was a good show.
Before moving on, though, I just thought about this because it's something we did talk about prior that we were going to talk about tonight. Internet exploded today.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people are apparently really pissed at Nintendo for not bringing Metroid.
Oh no! Oh, was that promised? Was that something that we were supposed to get?
It was promised by websites. Apparently.
Yep. Nintendo said that was going to happen.
Well, the leakers said it was.
Oh, okay. Nintendo.com/leakers.
Yeah,
is that what it was? Okay.
It's a thing.
Right.
So, so that's where I want to get into. I feel like this happens all the time.
Yeah.
And listen, we've talked about this numerous times on this show. I am not a fan of these people that claim to know it all.
Yeah.
And come out the gates and tell the world that this is going to happen. And then when it doesn't happen, Nintendo's sitting there looking like idiots. Yeah. Now, today,
Meanwhile, they don't have like a report card or anything. People keeping track of like this person is right 5% of the time. It's like my dad watching an episode of NCIS going like, it's definitely this guy. And then he throws out 12 predictions. And of course, one of them will eventually be right.
So the thing too is like so I basically want to break this down a little bit. The first thing was my friend Alan Paxton. He's notorious for doing this where he'll make a comment and then he'll tag a bunch of people in it.
Oh yeah.
And then just kind of watches it devolve in front of him. So he talked about the Game Show Awards and how he thought that Nintendo missed an opportunity by not showing Metroid. And then huge Metroid Prime fan, Joey Ferris, also a friend of ours, he chimes in and Joey just goes on this obliterating rant of, and if he's listening, I'm sorry if this offends you at all, but I feel like it's a very obliterating rant of entitlement. And some of the things that he said was, we have to have it because we want it, and that's like, and he even
they're required because I think it was one of the tweets. They're required
he even
to
went
tell
as far
us.
as to say required, and they owe it to us, and it's like, nah, man, they don't owe you nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, first off, this is the way I look at it. So that moment that Nintendo officially revealed something.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I called it way in advance. I felt like it was going to be a Smash character reveal.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like that's just the thing that made sense to me. Here's Nintendo at this point. They're getting ready to launch their biggest game of the year, right? I don't care about Pokemon. Pokemon is not Smash. This is the game that sells consoles for them.
Those are some words, man. I don't know. I think Pokemon did pretty well.
Listen,
right.
You can go back over history and you can look. Smash sells consoles. Other than the Wii U.
Well, Pokemon wasn't on consoles.
I'm just saying.
I'm just bugging you. I'm just poking.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, ultimately,
I'm playing the audience right now. Because surely somebody would be saying that.
This moves. Smash and Mario Kart have always been the biggest sellers of consoles for Nintendo.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want a mixed message at this time. You don't want, like,
so
get the thing out the door, push it out.
My thing is you're pushing it out, but here's the thing. You have one opportunity to do something really cool.
One shot.
And you have all gaming eyes on you.
Yep, mom spaghetti.
Everybody is watching you.
Mm-hmm.
Why in the world would you come with Metroid? Why would you come with a game that the fan base is very, very small?
Yeah.
And a game that doesn't sell well? Because, by the way...
That's a good point.
Don't tell me that people didn't want to play it on the 3DS. Because Samus Returns didn't do that well.
Yeah.
And I don't want to hear this nonsense, because if you're a real fan, you're a true fan, you're a fan of the game, you're gonna chase that game wherever it is to go get it. And I'll say this is how bold I'll be. I am a true fan of Metroid. I love Metroid from the early stages. Love Super Metroid. I have a 3DS on the shelf back there that I bought because I love the franchise so much. So don't even come in here with this, well, you don't love Metroid nonsense. I do. I'm not a huge fan of Prime, and that's fine. But I'm a huge fan of Samus. I'm a huge fan of Metroid, Mother Brain, Kraid, Ridley, the whole thing. I'm a huge fan of. So for me to look at it and go, this just makes sense because you also have a package to sell.
Mm-hmm.
And what better way to sell that package of a fighter's pass than to announce the first fighter that you're going to do? And by the way, no one saw it coming.
Yeah. They trolled us every time. Here's the thing. This is the great genius of Nintendo as we jump on it a little bit. And I'm coming from the perspective of somebody who is not buy a system for Metroid. So we've got kind of that spectrum covered. Every commercial, every spot, every whatever you want to call it for Nintendo was Smash. And you'd think we would have figured it out by the third, fourth, or fifth time.
Yeah.
But they had Animal Crossing up there, and they got both of us. They got, I mean... That's something that they deserve a lot of credit for because we all should have known that was just going to be a Smash thing. And we're like, well, yeah, of course, here's Animal Crossing. So, as a giant Animal Crossing fan, are you upset that they didn't come back like they did earlier when they trolled before Animal Crossing? No, it's just Isabelle in Smash. But then they came around. I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing.
Not at all. My thing is this. If you want to play devil's advocate to what these guys are saying, Should they show something? Should they talk about something? Perhaps. Perhaps you want to hear about it. This isn't the place for it.
Why don't we ask the people who are following Death Stranding? That's a game. I mean, really, a lot of the Sony things. Like Sony is literally like backing out of the shows at this point because
or Last of Us.
I mean, I don't know why, but Last of Us still has a little bit left for. It depends on person to person, I guess.
I don't feel like Last of Us should show another thing until they're ready to launch.
Well, that's just it, and that's why we're not. That's why they're not doing PSX anymore. Like we just gotta pump the brakes a little bit.
Exactly, because here's the thing: when you look at the way that people praised Bethesda with Fallout 4,
yeah,
where it was like,
that's how you do it.
Here's the trailer. It's out 6 months later. Everybody lost their minds.
Yep.
Everybody was a fan of it. They loved it, and done. You look at the way Nintendo announced Zelda Breath of the Wild, 4 years in advance, drove people crazy. Delay after delay after delay. It's like, man,
it's not good either.
It's not good. So why not just sit back, let them work on the game, and then when they're ready to show you something, they roll it out for you.
This is even the giving the logo saying that it's under development is the enabling. It's the shut up and we're making it. So here's the thing. Now go away. And it's like, well, maybe they didn't shut people up like you wanted it to. Clearly it didn't. You know, like because they could if they didn't give that, then people are going, "Where's Metroid? Where's Metroid?" Until
but there was so many people prior to that announcement.
No, that's what
that
I'm
were
saying.
Like, I just want to know they're making it.
I just want to know.
Just tell me they're making it, and I'll just be happy.
Exactly.
And then they show you they're making it, and now it's like, well, I got to see more.
Yeah.
I got to see more. And it's like, man, stop. Just stop.
But do you think this goes back to a question I was asking you on the show last night? Do you think, because I think some of the frustration comes from some people thinking that 2018 was not a good year for the Switch. What do you think?
I don't think it has anything to do with that. I just feel like you have a bunch of people that, again, are coming off from an entitled place that feel like they're owed something, and they're not owed anything. And, my thing is this. Back when Animal Crossing New Leaf got announced for the Nintendo 3DS, we didn't know it was New Leaf. They just said Animal Crossing is coming to the 3DS. I was one of those fans that lost my proverbial mind the first E3 when they showed nothing about it. And then the next E3 afterwards showed nothing about it. And I was bad because myself, I had bought 2 3DSs at $350 a piece for Animal Crossing. Right out the gates, I was an early adopter to it because I wanted one for me and I wanted one for Tony. And then nothing at E3. Nothing the next year, and then we're like, are they not making it? Like, we're trying to find out, and it's like they're not talking about it. What's going on? Like, we're losing our minds. And I realized I learned a lesson from that. It did nothing for me, benefited me no way, no how. All it did was make me mad. And at the end of the day, I screamed, I shouted in message boards, I flipped out, and guess what? I still bought the game at the end of the day.
Exactly. And you probably bought a lot of Nintendo stuff in between then. Yeah. Yeah.
Nintendo knows that you're going to buy their product. They don't owe you nothing.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up too, because like I think all, like, whether you're on the side of the Metroid camp or you want something, or the story that you just told, the story I started the show out with was like, we all have these realizations all the time. We're all learning. We all have like these moments where like, maybe that wasn't the best reaction. Maybe I could probably be a little better, or maybe you double down on it. Maybe that's a whole other thing. It's your prerogative. But I think that's just a nice conversation to have. Like, we've all had this like moment where we flipped out irrationally, and maybe realized it later, and that's okay. It's just all part of growing up. You know what I mean?
But to put this in the context of if we ran Nintendo, I wouldn't have changed a thing with last night.
I agree. I feel like people walk away from, aside from this camp, I feel like people are super pumped about the way Nintendo was represented there. Like you say that they may be shortchanged on the award ceremony, but in terms of announcements, I feel like they just killed it. They had the first premiere of the show proper. They had Persona over there, which is getting everybody all hopped up, riled up.
Yeah. And there's a rumor now today that Persona 5 is coming to the Switch.
Can you imagine, man? I'm telling you, I might buy it again.
I would buy it for the first time.
Because I didn't
buy it. Because here's the thing. When we played... oh my God.
In my opinion, Persona 4 is better, but that's just me.
what's good God the Fire
Shin Megami Tokyo Mirage Session Sharp FE.
Tokyo Mirage Session.
I didn't just pull it out of my head. I still have it right here.
Because there was two names of the thing, and the one's going to my head. I'm like,
Shin
that's not the
Megami
right
Tensei.
name. Yeah, Tokyo Mirage Session. So when that game, right, when that game came out, I fell in love with that game.
Yep.
Like I loved it, right? So my thing is, but I just realized very quickly, I'm not an RPG player that sits in front of the TV all the time no more. Like I'm doing it with Octopath, but I also pick up Octopath, take it to the bathroom while I'm watching TV in the living room. I have it in my hands. I go to my mom's house. I take it with me. Like I have it on the go all the times. So, but with I realized because of Tokyo Mirage Sessions that I didn't want to buy Persona 5, even though I wanted to play it and I wanted to try it out. I don't want to do it. Yeah. So if it does come to the Switch, it's a day one purchase for me all day long. You know, so I feel like this. So if that's the case, now here's the thing. You know, as well as I know, Persona has a massive fan base.
Yeah.
Massive fan base. Now, if you just not only put Joker in Smash, but then also made have sealed the deal to bring it over to Switch, you just won, dude. It's a huge move. Why would you change it? Me personally, I wouldn't. I'd be like, no, Persona is going to get the spotlight. We're going to do this right. And by the way, how much of a dick punch is it to Sony, who's sitting in the front row, that you just basically sideswiped their one of their big franchises?
I don't even know if it's possible. I think a couple people were throwing around some of the legalities around the publishing deals and stuff, and it sounds like there might be like a little crack in the deals that make it possible. But I feel I'm of the opinion that it's probably not going to happen. But if this is it, if this is as close as we get, then that's cool, man. It was just very
we'll find out, man.
People were not expecting this, and that's kind of what I go to these shows for, is at least one of those moments that like kind of knocks me on my ass, punches me in the dick.
Yeah.
Very cool, very cool. But again, if you don't like Persona, then it doesn't land.
That's how I would handle that situation if I ran Nintendo, and that's probably where we're at with this. This is as far as the topic for the show. That's going to probably be it.
There you go. Tom.
Yeah, Todd. Now relax. But we'll have another one at the end of the show, Todd. So just stick around and listen.
Yeah.
So Smash came out today.
Yeah. Did you get the DLC, like the season pass or whatever? The fighter pack or whatever? Yeah.
Not yet. I will. Okay. I'm going to do it today. The only reason I didn't do it today earlier was because I was on stream. And I didn't want my credit card information, even if it's the last 4 digits and all that. I don't want any of that popping up on screen.
Yeah.
So I'll do that. I'll do that tonight when we get done doing this here. I've always been a big supporter of Nintendo and their DLC.
Yeah.
I feel like they do a very good job with it, and I feel like they earn my money with
Mario Kart.
Smash. I love Mario Kart.
Mario Kart. That's what I'm saying. Mario Kart's the good one.
I think it's the best.
I think Zelda's not that
good. Zelda's okay. Zelda's okay, but Mario Golf was phenomenal.
Mario Golf's good. Yep, good point.
Mario Golf was really good.
Good point.
So I mean, they have some misses as well, but they tend to do a very good job with it. They didn't, in my mind, they didn't do a good job with Smash at all for the Wii U.
Right.
They just beat you up.
That's what I'm just saying. I feel like
this...
there was a moment in time, very short moment, where they killed it. Mario Kart 8 was it, and they're like, they set the standard. Everybody's like, Nintendo gets it. And I feel like that narrative is kind of like stretched outside of them still killing it every single time.
Kirby just got like 3 packs of DLC and didn't charge for it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's sweet.
You know what I mean? Like they were just like, hey, here's some characters that you
can't believe you just brought up Kirby. That you mostly caught me off guard for that.
Hey man, I gotta.
Yeah.
When I can get a win, I gotta get a win.
Exactly. Man, you're digging deep. You're digging deep.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, what can I do? What game?
Yeah. Well, Kirby, I'm like.
And then you're like, oh,
Bobby's desperate.
Back off that.
Right.
Like, well, even Splatoon. Like Splatoon is another one that like you buy the game and the DLC packs just come for free, and they're constantly pumping that up and doing more to it.
So there's no doubt in my mind. I feel like that's slightly different, but keeping games alive and stuff like that is something else.
Yeah. So the thing is like when I look at this and I go, I see what they did during Smash 4, and then now I see what they're doing here with this. I like this model better.
Yeah.
Where I just give you $20. And then you just give me the content, and I don't have to go do anything. So that's why I'm like, you know what? I'll buy it. I'll spend my money on it. It's fun. But so I started today. I World of Life, and I didn't like the fact that I had to use Kirby out the gates. That bothered me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, that just stuck in my craw, man. I just hated that.
Of course it did.
Yeah. Oh, it was horrible. But anyway, so watch that. All right, I started playing that. The opening cutscene is basically the trailer that they showed,
right,
with the whole thing happening. But man, I got back in and I started playing a little bit, and I'm like, I'm getting my groove back a little bit with this. I don't like. I'll be honest with you. This is weird. This is strange for me. I'm not a fan of this controller.
The Pro controller.
With this game, I loved it on Wii U.
That's bizarre.
This feels a little heavy.
Okay.
For some reason, and
get
I
those,
guess it's just
get the Hori ones. They're super light. Or do you have the GameCube?
I'm gonna buy the GameCube one from Power A. It's a wireless one from Power A. Power A has a wireless one.
Yeah, there's no. That's not what I'm. I wasn't a GameCube kid, so I just don't understand the love and like the going back to it.
I just want to try it. I want to see what it feels like.
I'm not judging.
Yeah, I'm judging me anyway. I'm doing enough judging for both of us. Trust me.
Why?
Because I'm not a fan of people that cling on to that controller. But if it feels better than this one, then I might go for it. I could grab one of my other Power A ones and try that too. But they're not wireless. I have one wireless one, and I just don't feel like messing with it.
It's crazy. It's crazy, like Nintendo with between the GameCube controller for Smash and the N64 controller for Mario 64. Like, has any company ever designed like one controller that works for a single game? With such focus.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, and I know. I love this controller. I think this controller is probably one of the best controllers in gaming, next to the Xbox. I feel like the Xbox has it down.
Yep.
This is second. You know what I mean?
It's pretty good.
But this is very, very strong contender. I think it kills Sony. I'm not a fan of Sony's controller at all. But that said, so my thing is like, so I started playing. I'm digging it.
Yeah.
I like some of the changes they made. I'm not a fan that the trophy's gone.
What do you think of what are the, like 6 characters to start out with? 8 characters?
One.
There's one. Oh, you're saying. Oh, so and then you go.
Well, I don't know, because the way I started, I went into World of Life.
Oh, okay.
Or World of Light. I went into that side, and so you only have Kirby.
I see what you're saying.
Going through, and then you start unlocking. But then when I jumped over to the other side, it was only whoever I had unlocked on the one side. That's who I had to play with. That was it. But I'm fine with that.
Me too, man. I do too, and I asked because I saw a couple of like differing opinions today. I think that's great, man. Who?
Yeah, I saw Jared Petty. Jared Petty was complaining about it today, and I was just like, I'm fine with it, man.
I need some sort of progression in those types of games.
I need something to make me stick around playing a fight.
Yeah, and actually, like, one more, and you don't know who's coming next, and I like it, man.
Yeah, and I like the fact of like you play, and like I was playing today, and I got done World of Light. And I come out and it's like, boom, here's Ness. You got to fight Ness.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, yes, let's go. And I unlock Ness. Then I jumped over on the other side and just did the old school mode. And what I like about it is you pick your level that you want to go, like the intensity level. And you go in. And then it actually starts to unlock the painting. So depending on where you actually win or how strong it is, it slides the meter back and forth. And then I guess it unlocks the painting. It's really well done.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not a fan that they removed the trophies, but what I think they did with the spirits was they kind of implemented the trophies back in. They're kind of like cards now, as opposed to the little statues. I would have preferred the little statues, not gonna lie. I love the trophies. But you know, it's either here or there. Overall, so far, I'm liking the game.
Yeah. No surprises, really.
Nah, it's Smash. Yeah. It's the same to me. It's the same as the Wii U one. It just ramped up. There's a lot. It's faster. It's a little bit more faster. A lot more characters, obviously. But
did you have it for Did you have it for 3DS as well? Because I played it on the Wii U and on the 3DS.
I loved it on the 3DS.
The 3DS got way more play from me, man.
Yeah, man. I loved it on the 3DS. It was
pretty great. Yeah.
The problem was I put so much time into the 3DS waiting for the Wii U one.
That's right.
And I didn't think I would like the 3DS. The only reason I bought the 3DS one was because I wanted to unlock.
You can wait.
Or I wanted to get. No, I wanted Mewtwo for free. So if you bought both versions, they gave you
that's
Mewtwo.
right. That's right. I remember that. And I remember. I did buy the second one. I think too late. I think I got the Wii U one just a little too late because it wasn't part of the plan. I think it just. Yeah. I don't even know how I ended up with it, but It is what it is.
But I like the
But it's
other
here.
one better.
I can't believe it's December. We're a week into December. Christmas is right around the corner. Hanukkah is wrapping up, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And we have Smash. Now everybody can be happy about Nintendo, right? This is what we've been waiting for this whole time.
I'll tell you what. I'm very interested for 2019.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they're heading in a really strong direction. They're ending 2018, I think, on a very high note. And I feel like they're getting ready to move into 2019. And depending on how they come out the gates early on, I'm sure we'll get a direct probably late January, early February. That'll kind of curtail the spring and how we're gonna create.
We gotta have an indies thing coming up pretty soon.
Well, they normally do back to back. They hit them back to back and do that. So that's going to be interesting to see how they do that stuff and move forward with it. So I'm interested. I'm excited, and I guess we'll find out ultimately how it all works.
Do you think 2019 is a year that we get like any sort of significant update to the OS? Or do you think that this is? I think we've had this conversation a couple times, but I feel like things change as time goes on. Do you think that the Switch OS it is what it is, or even the eShop? Like,
so for me, the OS itself.
Yeah.
The only change I would make to the OS is wallpapers.
I want a party chat. I want some sort of chat.
That's not OS.
Sure it is.
OS.
Sure it is.
What are you talking about? That's voice chat. That's not OS.
Yeah, it's like anyway. I want it.
You think that's part of the operating system?
Yeah, like to have the option to fire up a party and do voice chat. That's all part of the OS.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's something different. I mean, that's fine. I mean, if that's how you feel, I just never viewed that as part of. That's why I didn't bring up voice chat.
That's fair. Rybo, I'd like Rybo to weigh in on this one. Rybo's a deciding factor. What does Mr. Ribble say back there?
Mr. Ribble says that I am right and you're wrong.
Okay.
That's what Mr. Ribble says.
My bad.
Okay?
My bad, Mr. Ribble.
Okay. So there you go. No, for me,
I'm sorry. You're talking about mostly just design, and I kind of took it as somewhere
design and stuff, and what I see when I fire the thing up, what I see there, that to me is fine. I'm okay with that. I would like to just change the wallpaper, or if you're not going to give me wallpapers, give me different colors rather than black and white, and I'd be happy with that. The eShop has to change.
Yeah,
has to change. They need to fix it and fix it now. And I've been screaming about this forever.
Are they required to fix it?
They're not required to do anything, but I just think that they are hurting themselves and hurting developers.
It's one of those things, man. Like it's so what a day yesterday was with the Game Awards. We're gonna talk about this on the Xbox Drive, but the Epic Game Store is really kicking steam in the nuts right now. And it may be the only platform where something like this is even possible. So I'm not sure if this comparison or analogy kind of fits. But there's no force that's kind of making Nintendo change their eShop. As long as people are buying games, and the narrative is that when games go on Switch, they sell more there than anywhere else. So the imperative for Nintendo is really nothing. They really don't have to change it. But the underlying narrative that nobody really talks about, or it's lesser known, is that yes, there are lots of games that do well, but the vast majority of games, especially on the indie side, do very poorly because it's just a numbers game. There's just thousands and thousands of games on there. Most of them don't do as well. So it depends on kind of how they take that situation. I feel like they probably won't change anything, but Epic Games is changing everything on the PC side.
I think what's going to happen, what you're going to see, not right now, I would say probably in a 2-year span, you will see a lot of indie developers just leaving Nintendo in terms of not putting their stuff there first. Now they don't do a lot now, but a lot of them you'll see will go day and date with Steam, or they'll get it first. And I think you're going to start to see a lot of them leave. And there's 2 reasons why. One, the pricing structure is very attractive to an indie developer that basically is trying to come over on Epic.
Yeah, right.
Did
right.
you say it was 80-20 or
I just wanted, because
that?
we were talking about Nintendo, Steam, and Epic, so I just want to make sure. Yeah.
So for Epic, it's very. What is it? 8812.
8812. That's nuts.
That's even more enticing. So when you look at that and you go hey, these guys give a developer. Think about it. Jules, Image of Form.
Yep.
All these smaller teams.
Yep.
That can't afford to give Nintendo as much money as they give them. Why wouldn't you put a game over on Steam and it's not even Steam
It
now.
changes
It's
the
Epic.
entire equation. Like the
I think it
whole
does.
thing. Like you have to sell fewer copies on the Epic Store
Yeah.
because you get more.
Yeah.
Like it's just crazy. And it's not like what is it? Well, actually, it is a significant change from. And I don't know what Nintendo is. So Steam is 70/30. I don't know if that's a kind of a standard.
No, I think it's 60/40.
Is it really 60/40?
I think it is. I think it's like Apple. Apple 60/40.
Oh, I thought
I think they're all 60/40. I think Xbox and PlayStation and Steam and all of them are 60/40.
We got to get a fact checker in here.
Yeah, we got to. But I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken.
If I bring up a web browser, it's gonna because I'm recording the video, it's
Let
gonna
me
pop
check.
up over your
check.
face.
I'll find out. Yeah, let me check. I'll look into it while you're doing your thing.
What am I doing? I don't even know what we're
You're gonna
talking about
talk.
anymore.
We're talking about the cuts.
Well, we're talking about how it's going to like change the OS or system on Nintendo, and what forces are kind of creating a motivation for them to do it. I don't know. I just don't know if they're that intuitive. If they even look anywhere else to go like, oh, look what's happening over on PC. Like this is. I feel like that was a very astute connection on your part.
Yeah.
To go that like maybe people do jump because like the lines have been blurred across the board, whether people like it or not. But you're right, like indie games tend to show up on one of the 3 consoles first, and then also on PC. So it could. Yeah. I feel like Nintendo, the whole scene needs a shakeup, and maybe this Epic thing is kind of what everybody needs.
I think so too. It's not really breaking all of that down, Sean. For some reason, it's like whenever you put in stuff, it's like looking at eShop and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever. We'll look at later. But no, I agree.
Leave
I
a
think
comment
that
below.
I think that when you look at this, right, when you're sitting here and you go like, okay, where do I go first? It's just, to me, it's a no-brainer. First off, there's not as many people there, so it's not as crowded, it's not as flooded,
especially
right? It's
now.
not as hard. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not as hard to sell your stuff. You think about it. When the Switch blew up, why did the Switch blow up? Because nobody was there.
Yep.
And then people were putting all their stuff there, and then all of a sudden everything started selling, and it was because there wasn't many games. So if everybody looks at Epic and goes like, "Oh, there's not many games here. Let's go over here." Mm-hmm. Boom! Next thing you know, the developers are making more money. They're putting out more games over there. I think, and think about it. Doesn't it help the developers to not charge as much on Epic? Like they could make the same amount of money as before and charge a little less to move more copies.
Well, the crazy,
so they could sell more on the grant.
That's
like
what
the
I'm
big
saying.
picture, they could sell more copies. Might be a lesser cost overall, but they're making more money, so they're making the same money they would have made before, but they're actually making more because they're moving more copies.
The crazy thing about Epic, and this is maybe a little outside of, maybe not. Anyway, Epic is like double dipping here. I don't know if anybody realizes because Epic owns the Unreal Engine. And the Unreal Engine is very prolific, especially very programmable for Switch. Very like it works on Switch very, very well. Yeah. So for them to have the way that their business model around the Unreal Engine is, it's like a free to play almost kind of thing. But then like once you get into production, then there's a fee structure there. So they got the developers come to them because it's an easy entry for making the games, and then they got the place to sell the games. Like, it's one step beyond what Valve was doing, which was just like, here's a place to play. But like Unreal, I guess Unity, I'm trying to think of like, is there any other like big engine that most people use? Like that's just kind of like, not necessarily open source, but like widely available. The Unreal Engine plus this store, plus Fortnite, like buy your Epic stock, man. This is a crazy time for video games.
They got it hands down. Hands down, they're crushing it. The final thing I want to talk about real quick that we could jump into here is, I'm going to look it up real quick because I'm stupid.
Don't be so hard on yourself, Bobby.
Well, yeah, it's fine. The kind of funny indies.
Oh yeah.
Tomorrow.
It'll happen in the past when people listen to this.
December 8th, which would have happened yesterday if you're listening to it now. But I think what I like about this is, so I think that Kind of Funny did a hell of a job in terms of they recognized that people wanted something to do the day after the Game Awards.
Yep.
And I was at the exact Game Awards, but we lost PSX.
Right.
So here's Greg just basically
like, what if we did this?
Like, huh?
I'm just trying to commend them on like they do this thing where they have the same kind of like crazy ideas. Like, what if we did something like this? And then they have just enough expertise and like chutzpah to like make it awesome and get the people involved. They have a ton of announcements coming on this thing.
Yeah.
And like I feel like base in the basement expectations, because it's never been done before. And it's just let's just throw this thing together and see what happens. But I feel like there's gonna be a lot of surprises.
I think that they knocked it out the park with this idea, and I think that, you know, not for nothing, I think Greg really did a good job.
Yeah, I agree.
What they're talking about is several developers and publishers have already reached out, showing levels of interest. Well, obviously at this point, but this is back a couple months ago. I'm reading this article. Donut County, Annapurna Interactive,
holy crap, man! All over Game Awards.
All over the place. Yeah, Devolver Digital, which is another big one. Noodle Cake Games, Housemark, or Housemark A.
Oh no, Housemark is amazing, dude. Yeah, they're Resogun, Nex Machina.
Yeah,
incredible studio.
You know, they have so many amazing developers that are on board with all this, and I think that what the beauty is that they are giving people what they, you know, they would have done stuff this weekend.
Yeah.
And now you're not doing anything this weekend. And here you go, you get to sit down now and watch, you know, an event for indie games. And I think
blows my mind, man. We talk about E3 and how it's changing. We talked a little bit about how the Game Awards is kind of filling that space a little bit. This is like the democratization of E3. E3 is like its own thing. It had a big monopoly on it. Now it's like content creators have played a different role in rolling out games to people and how people become aware of them. This is taking that to like the next level. I have fallen off the kind of funny bandwagon as of late, but like this, I don't know, man. I feel like this is going to be a moment that people will remember 5, 10, 15 years from now, when E3 is long gone and we look to like garage band type of content creators doing this type of thing at a huge scale. It makes it doable. Like, it's just making it executable for all of these developers, or at all levels, to share their stuff, man. This is historic stuff.
So I always wonder about this, right? I always think about this thing. So I'm into NASCAR, right? And probably about 6 years ago now, Tony Stewart was a big racer in NASCAR, and he's coming up on his free agency, and all these teams are vying for him because he's a champion.
Yeah, turns left like nobody else.
He's an amazing driver, races, and he's really good, you know, road course racer as well. He's just a great racer.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's got all these teams coming to him, and at the time he's driving for Joe Gibbs, which is a premier team in NASCAR, and one little guy turns around to him and goes, I will give you half ownership in the team if you come drive for me. Like, that's what he had to offer.
Yeah.
He's talking stock and all that, right? So he does. He goes over there and he totally turns it around. And they turn into a 4-car team, and they're just killing it, right? But I think about this in terms of Greg Miller. And they had these guys at IGN.
Yeah.
And they let them walk.
Yeah, man. Rather
than pulling them in the boardroom and going, okay, guys, what is it going to take to keep you here? Like, what is it going to take to keep you? Do you need to run? Like, do you want to run departments? Do you want to, like,
if we ran IGN?
Yeah. Like, oh my God, man. They should have been like.
How does IGN not have this sort of thing?
Oh my God.
Like, that's the crazy thing.
Yeah, like, this is something that IGN should be doing. And you think about it and you go, like, holy crap, Greg Miller just pulled a fast one on everybody.
That's what I'm saying. That's what this is going to be a historic moment. I'm telling you. And I feel like, because I've been to Kind of Funny Live too, and it shocks me the production value that these guys are able to pull off. When they put their minds to something, it's IGN level.
Yeah.
And they do it on their own. They make their own minds. That's it. They go nuts.
They go full bore.
So that's cool. I can't wait to see what happens, man. I haven't watched a Kind of Funny, really anything, in a long, long time. But how could I ignore this?
I'm watching this. This is huge. Because I'm curious here, where my curiosity comes in, is this strictly PlayStation? Or is it, hey, this is a Nintendo Switch thing. This is an Xbox thing. I know that Kind of Funny's been more doing that lately.
Yep.
Where they're just all encompassing of games. But I'm just kind of curious because I know
think there's a lot of excitement around. Like I feel like like Xbox or whoever it is, like I don't know if Nintendo like sees this and goes like, we got to be part of that. I feel like Xbox and PC are kind of the brands that would go flock to something like this and go like, I sense there's something here. Like this could be something new. Nintendo's like, that's still not us driving the message. So
Nintendo's
like
doing their Nindies thing. Nintendo does their Nindies thing.
Yeah.
And that's when I look at this. I go, this is basically Nindies for everybody.
Yeah.
And this is not just going like, hey, in order to survive, you need to be on our platform. This is, hey, you make great games, and we want to show it off.
Yeah.
And let everybody see it.
It's cool
and
stuff,
that's
man.
what I love.
Yeah.
I love it.
Can't wait to see how it goes down.
Yeah, me either. So
we got to do something like that. Hey, anybody?
Listen, one day, man.
Yeah.
One day.
You got the Ojo.
Yeah, well, that's,
Yeah.
I love the Ojo.
Chicken Wiggle.
Just, true. I'll reach out to Jewel.
Yeah, we're halfway there, man.
Games. Yeah, it's 1 or 2 games.
Yeah.
And then we're good. We'll be like, we had a plan to give all these games.
Yeah.
But everybody told us no except for Jules.
Exactly.
And
then trust us. Deuterino's
Yeah.
going to buy all the games. It's going to be worth your guys' while.
This is true. So, Sean, I think that is all, Sean.
Aw. I feel like we just started.
Yeah, well, it's good when we just chat.
Yeah, we did. We chatted for 4 hours yesterday, for God's sakes.
I know, that was the thing.
I was all up in my suit and everything.
We went hardcore yesterday.
Yeah.
So that is all. Thank you guys for listening to today's episode of If We Ran Nintendo. I almost said Nintendo PlayStation.
Good God, man.
Good Lord. If We Ran Nintendo, you can follow Sean Capri, Sean like Connery Capri, like the pants.
Did you just drop something?
Huh?
Did you just drop something?
No, I just looked over at my phone.
Oh,
phone
did I just drop something?
No.
Close the show. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So follow Sean Capri over on Twitter. Capri like the pants. You can follow me over on Twitter at Nintendo Gurus. That is all. Peace out, Preston.
Sean Capri.
Sean Capri.